First and foremost, baseball. NLCS and ALCS just wrapped up. Pretty quick series. So we'll talk about that, and then possibly some college football and NFL later on. But let's first start off talking about what happened in the baseball realm. So I think the last podcast we had, it was the day before the Yankees and Guardians were set to play Game 5. I think it was the day before that. And the Yankees won that game 5-1. I know this is kind of old news. Basically, the highlight of that was Gleyber Torres mocking Josh Naylor with the Rock the Baby celebration after that. I loved that. I thought that was great. But on that same day, the NLCS started. And I thought this was a very interesting series because it was the bottom two teams in the NL playoffs. So they added another team this year. It's 1 through 6 instead of 1 through 5. And it was 6v5. It was the Padres and the Phillies, who were both just rolling with momentum. I mean, these two teams were just on fire coming into this series, and I was really interested to see how it would play out. NLCS Game 1, Zach Wheeler absolutely shuts the door. 7 innings, no earned runs. The only runs that were put on the board were Harper hit a home run, and then Schwarber, who we'll get to later on, hit a 488-foot shot. And that is all that the Phillies needed to win 2-0. Wednesday was game 2, and the Padres took this one at home, winning 8-5. Phillies actually jumped out to a big lead in this one, 4-0. But in the second inning, the Padres got some runs back. Josh Bell homered. He was on fire this series. Machado homered, and I mean the bats were just rolling, and the Padres won 8-5. Game 3, we're now tied up 1-1, going back to Philly, and the Phillies can win it at home if they win all 3. And they won the first one. They won 4-2. Kyle Schwarber once again hit a home run in the first. Cronenworth tied it up. But Bryson Stott and Alec Bohm, 2 youngsters, have really been performing. The Phillies have gotten a lot of great performances from some of the lower guys in their lineup, which is something that you really need to win games. And they won this one 4-2. So now going into Game 4, I had a feeling this is a game that the Padres had to win. I thought they had to win this one to keep any realistic chances of winning this series. And this game was a wild, wild game. 16 runs in this game. The Padres jumped out to 4 runs immediately. What's it called? I forget who started this game for the Phillies. Some guy I had never heard of. What was his name? They started Bailey Falter in this game, and he got his ass lit up. Machado homered. Brandon Drury had a 2-run double. Ha-Sung Kim pushed across an RBI single, and in a blink, it's 4-0 Padres. In the first, though, Rhys Hoskins gets 2 back on a home run, and Bryce Harper hit a double to make it a 1-run game. And then in the fourth, Bryson Stott, who's really been great, singles to tie the game. But the Padres didn't go away. Juan Soto launched one. He had been kind of cold in this postseason. Not a lot of I know the Padres were banking on him having a big postseason when they traded him. Didn't really have that great of a postseason. He did get a home run here to push the lead back. But then Rhys Hoskins again with his second 2-run homer ties it up. And then Harper pushed across a double to take the lead. Castellanos with another single made it 6-8. And it's only the 5th inning. And then in the 6th, Schwarber again launched a home run. I kind of thought Schwarber got robbed for NLCS MVP. NLCS MVP. They gave it to Harper, which, I mean, okay, he had a great series. I thought Schwarber was a little bit better, though. But, I mean, after the Padres kind of blew that game, going up 4-0, I kind of had the feeling that they weren't going to win Game 4. And they didn't win Game 4. Philly took... I mean, they were in the game in Game 4. This is a back-and-forth game. Hoskins, basically Harper, Hoskins, and Schwarber carried the Phillies through this series. They were 3 monstrous bats in that lineup. Once again, Soto did homer in this game. It was 3-2. The Padres scored 2 in the 7th to take a 3-2 lead. Bottom of the 8th, Bryce Harper cracks one to the opposite field, and it gets out for a 2-run home run. And that was all she wrote. That's the series. Phillies win in 5 games. as the last team in the playoffs. Last team in the playoffs. And they went all the way down and ran through everyone. They only lost 2 playoff games. They went 2-0 against the Cardinals, won 3 out of 4 against the Braves, and then won 4 out of 5 against the Padres. So the Phillies are your surprise from the NL. I feel like that's what it is every year. Every year the NL, it's just you roll a dice with the 6 teams, and that's who you're going to get. The AL, though, a little bit more predictable. Top 2, it was the 2 lowest seeds in the NL, 2 highest seeds in the AL. Yankees, Astros. First of all, after the Yankees defeated the Guardians, it was anarchy outside of the stadium. I mean, they acted like they won the World Series after beating the Guardians in 5 games. I mean, it was a lot of FL2V before the series has even started. But all of a sudden, I think they had a 1-day turnaround. I'm pretty sure because it was either 1 or 2 days. I think they had 1 off day. Because they beat the Guardians on Tuesday, October 18th, and then played New York Wednesday, October 19th. So they had to go really quickly into that series, which I thought the Astros swept the Mariners 3-0 in 3 really great games. I mean, the Mariners were in all of the games and could have won all 3. Well, they didn't. But the Yankees, that series was pushed back with, I think, 2 games that got canceled due to rain delays. So they had to go on a little 1-day mission, and still they got out to they scored first. Bader homered to start, who's just been an animal this postseason, but the Astros just proved to be too much. Jeremy Pena homered again. That guy is having one hell of a postseason. So okay, Astros win that first game 4-2. Second game of the series, Astros won it 3-2. Alex Bregman hit a 3-run homer in the third, and the Yankees couldn't crawl their way back. They scored 2 in the fourth, but ultimately the Astros bullpen shut it down, and they won 3-2. So 2 close games. Yankees couldn't climb away with either one. Game 3, Sunday, October 23rd. Astros win 6-5. Once again, the Yankees completely in this game. 3-0 lead. Stanton single, Torres single, Rizzo double. Jeremy Pena ties it with a 3-run home run. And ultimately, it's 5-5 in the 7th. It was 5-4 in the 7th. Alvarez gets the single to tie it. Bregman singles Jeremy Pena home to take the lead. And in basically the blink of an eye, the Astros are up 3-0. And there has only been one team to ever come back from down 3-0. Sorry, Yankees fans, I'm kind of twisting the knife here. It's the Red Sox in 2004. I saw a stat, and this might be the most fascinating stat of the series. Tickets for Game 4 of this series, when they were down 3-0. Tickets for Game 4 went from, get this, they went from $211 as the cheapest ticket to $20 as the cheapest ticket. Because everyone knew that series is on wraps. And Christian Javier walked out, 5 1/3, no runs. Garrett Cole got hit for 3 runs by Chas McCormick hit a home run, Mancini sac fly, and at 5-0, Astros just quick work of the Yankees, and Jeremy Pena won ALCS MVP. I mean, he's been their best player in the playoffs. He's just been an animal. So now we have a very interesting and I think very intriguing World Series matchup ahead of us. Astros Phillies. Now, I'll give you another fun little stat. These 2 teams in the playoffs are, hold on, let me do my math real quick. They are a combined 16-2 in the playoffs. Astros are a perfect 7-0, 4-0 against the Yankees, 3-0 against Mariners, and the Phillies are 9-2, 2-0 against the Cards, 3-1 against the Braves, 4-1 against the Phillies. People say this a lot in baseball. It's not who you play, it's when you play them. And these 2 teams are as hot as, well, they're the 2 hottest teams in baseball, and that's why they're the only 2 left. And I feel like a lot of people are just going to say Astros in 5, Astros in 4. I don't think it's that simple. It is in no way that simple. Because weren't the Astros supposed to win in 4 or 5 or 6 last year? And weren't they supposed to win in 4, 5, or 6 against the Nationals? And they lost both those series. And the NL has really gotten the handle of the AL and the World Series as of late. So I'm expecting a to the wire series. The Phillies are honestly, I might even say, here's the thing: a lot of the Phillies games, they with both these teams, I feel like they're just getting timely hits. They're just performing in the clutch. I feel like for the Phillies, it's more of their bats performing when they need to. With the Astros, I feel like it's more of the pitching. I mean, their bullpen has basically given up like no runs this whole postseason. I mean, since the sixth inning, you can't even score on them. Like that's how good they've been. And every single game, besides the 5-0 game that clinched the series, besides that, every game has been decided by 1 or 2 runs. That shows you how good that bullpen has been. But Philly, I mean, this is really hard, I feel like, to make a pick. Because I feel like if the Phillies can split on the road, I think they win the series. Because they have just been that good at home. They haven't lost at home. I mean, they've just been otherworldly when at home. 9-1, 8. Here, the Phillies have played 5 games at home. 2 against the Braves, 3 against the Padres. 9-1, 8-3, 4-2, 10-6, 4-3. I think if they can get a split on the road, it's their series to lose. I mean, what are the projected pitching matchups? I mean, that's really what you got to look at. I mean, I really don't know. I have a gut feeling on who I feel like is going to win this series. Honestly, it's telling me Philly. I think that this is just a team you don't want to play with right now. They are that hot. Schwarber you can't get him out. Right now Harper you can't get him out. Hoskins can't get him out. Their lineup is just torching on all cylinders. And if you can just get a little bit, I mean their pitching has been fine too. I mean Jose Alvarado's been great out of the bullpen. Zach Eflin has been good out of the bullpen. Brad Hand is good. I mean they're getting outs when they need to. And Aaron Nola's great. Zach Wheeler has been untouchable this postseason. I'm gonna go out on a limb, and I'm gonna say that they split on the road. I feel like and the Astros win game 1, Phillies win game 2, and I think Philly is going to take 2 out of 3 at home, so they lead the series 3-2. And I think they win it in Game 6. My gut prediction, I might be alone on this. I am riding with the momentum of the Phillies, and I am taking them to win the World Series. Let me know who you think is going to win in the World Series in the comments below. And put the number of games, too, if you will, because I think this is going to be a bloodbath of a series.